He stared at the sleeping girl, when suddenly a large FBI team broke through the door, quickly pinning him firmly to the ground. This was a joint arrest operation by the FBI and the DEA. Shortly after, the police seized a massive haul of contraband from his residence, evidence substantial enough to bring serious criminal charges against him. Initially, he remained calm and composed, confident that his influential father would secure his release. However, to protect the family's interests, his father eventually struck a deal with the prosecutor and urged him to plead guilty, in exchange for a promised reduced sentence of 4 years. The sudden turn of events was hard for him to accept, but under his father's firm insistence, he signed the plea agreement. During the court hearing, he truthfully confessed to the crimes, but the judge concluded that the heavy firearms he possessed were intended to protect his illicit goods. Based on the minimum sentencing standards of the law, he was sentenced on the spot to 10 years in prison. Only then did he realize, both he and his father had been deceived by the prosecutor. One day, 7 months into his sentence, a guard secretly escorted him to the infirmary. Waiting for him there were the very prosecutor who had framed him and an unfamiliar woman. The woman identified herself as a special agent. According to her intelligence, he had been living quite comfortably in prison. Not only had he befriended various gangs and factions, but his talent for getting along with anyone had caught the authorities' attention. They then proposed an extremely high-risk deal to him: apply for a transfer to another secret prison, get close to a notorious serial killer, and extract the exact burial locations of the victims' bodies. The police suspected this killer had murdered 14 young women in succession, but only one set of remains had ever been found. There was simply not enough evidence to secure a conviction, and the prison where the killer was held was a hell on earth designed specifically for inmates with severe mental disorders. He flatly refused this near-suicidal request. The female agent then laid out her offer: if he could locate the bodies, the remaining 9 years and 3 months of his sentence would be completely wiped clean. Even so, he remained unmoved. The agent added that the killer was currently appealing his case. If the appeal succeeded, he would walk free, and more young women would face imminent danger. But in his eyes, this so-called justice had nothing to do with him. Before leaving, the agent urged him to seize this one chance to turn his life around, and left behind a thick file on the killer, for him to carefully consider before giving his answer. Back in his cell, he eventually opened the heavy case file. What he saw inside instantly stunned him.